And you have gatekeepers who can get you from a prospect into a contender. Now again, the contenders are ranked from 1 to 10. You can get into the top 10 contenders. That means the champion can pick you at any time. But the mandatory challenger is the number 1 contender. And generally, the number 1 and number 2, they fight an elimination bout to see who is going to get what is called the interim championship belt. And the interim champion, he's the number 1 contender who faces the champion. And if you can beat the champion, then you attain your lifelong dream as a pro to become world champion. Now the next level above world champion is the level of bona fide champion. And a bona fide champion is somebody who defends his title at least once. Okay, and what you're looking at here on BoxingScene.com is a list of world champions. I'm not going to go into all of them. You can go ahead and look at them. And they're different champions in different weight divisions. And they have been awarded championship titles by getting a belt. And these are the different boxing bodies right here that award these belts. Alright? Now, it's still not over. Even though you're a real world champion, there are a number of other things you have to consider. There are levels above that. Now, there is, elite boxers are boxers who have a very high standard of boxing, okay? But you can be considered an elite fighter, becoming a world champion, defending your belt, and then defending your belt at other levels, or going into higher weight class and becoming world champion again and again and again. It proves that you're an elite fighter. Most people think elite fighter actually comes before they become a world champion, and I can agree with that to some extent. It depends on how they're winning their matches and so on. But generally, you're a proven elite fighter when you become a world champion and you're able to defend your championship. Okay? So you don't expect a world champion to fight a prospect. You don't expect a world champion to fight a pro debutante. It doesn't really happen very often. Okay? Those are different levels in boxing. You don't expect a world champion to fight a journeyman, Alright? Now, of course, a lot has to do with superstardom. So, as I was explaining, Demetrius Andrade had a point in the Charlo brothers not being on his level because he's become a world champion. They have not become world champions, but they are contenders. I think they're in the top 10, so they could contend with him. But he wants to push himself to a higher level. So what would Demetrius Andrade want to fight? He would want to fight an Erislandy Lara, because an Erislandy Lara is a world champion, has been a proven world champion, as Demetrius Andrade is, has fought superstar competition in a great competition, and has also fought world champions as a contender. So obviously Demetrius Andrade would think of Erislandy Lara on his level, even though Erislandy Lara may not consider Demetrius Andrade on his level. You understand what I'm saying? Demetrius Andrade may consider Canelo Alvarez on his level, even though Canelo Alvarez's level's above him because he has more expertise and has fought great world champions, like he has on his resume Floyd Mayweather Jr. So this is what we mean by there are levels to the sport. Sometimes people say there are levels and they give wrong explanations for there being levels, but to a certain degree there is a point behind wanting to fight more challenging competition. You always want to fight people who are above your level so that you can move up another level. So by fighting people in different weight classes, they are sort of much more difficult because they punch harder and so on. So there's that challenge there, as well as fighting champions at other weight classes and fighting other champions, So being a bona fide world champion, being an elite fighter, the next thing is being a superstar. And usually you become a superstar by beating other superstars, but also your promotional team, your management team can make you into a superstar even before that. Because if they can showcase your talents and skills, it can get a lot of people attracted to you, and it's all about getting a lot of fans that make you into a superstar. But a bona fide superstar is someone who beats high level of competition and keeps on pushing themselves higher and higher, and their record speaks for themselves as well as their fan base. So it's one thing to have a lot of fans and be a superstar, but you're not a real superstar if you don't fight It's a level of competition that will challenge you. Now, moving on, we have legends. And I'm going to mention a couple legends here. So, Vladimir Klitschko is a legend. Even though he's not mentioned here, Bernard Hopkins is a legend. Carl Froch is a legend. Andre Ward is getting to that point. Miguel Cotto's a legend. Mayweather's a legend. Pacquiao's a legend. And there are a number of other guys in here who are working towards becoming legendary. Roman Gonzalez is on his way. Guillermo Rigondeaux. Lomachenko's on his way. Crawford's on his way. Garcia's on his way. You know. These are just some examples of people who are on their way to legendary status based on what they've done so far in their careers. Okay, Kovalov's definitely another one. Okay, so Andre Ward is another one. So I'm just saying that legends are another level in the sport of boxing, and then we have the greatest of your particular era. This is the pinnacle of the sport of boxing. When you are the greatest of your era, that is the ultimate level. That's the ultimate legendary status. After that, we compare you to boxers of other eras to see if you are, you know, the best ever in all eras, or if you are the greatest boxer of all time. Which is two separate things. Okay, the greatest boxer of all time incorporates a lot of different variables besides just the skill set you have in boxing, your level of opposition. It has a lot to do with exciting fights, memorable fights, and so many other things. Okay, so you know, your attitude, your demeanor, how you carried yourself, what you added to the sport of boxing, so many other variables, your worldwide popularity, etc. So when we're talking about greatest of all time, that goes to Muhammad Ali. He's timeless. His name will probably stay there forever. The best ever is up for grabs, and that has to do with your skill set, your level of opposition, your resume, you know, how you challenged yourself, pushed yourself in levels, and of course how dominant you were in the era, and if you were the greatest of your era, of course. So in terms of boxing, that is. So you know, when we talk about the best ever, you had to be the best ever of your era to start with, and then on top of that, you have to have not just great skills and all of that, but we have to look at your level of opposition in your era. Of course, some people make their level of opposition look like jokes, but all you have to do is watch the opposition versus other opposition, see them fight against each other to know how good this person really was. If there were levels above everybody else, well, that's just what it was, you know. So that is talking about levels to the sport of boxing, and I hope that this educates you guys so that you won't say, "Oh, Errol Spence Jr. he's ready to fight. Keith Thurman, or he's ready to fight Amir Khan, or he's ready." No, he's not ready to fight those guys. He's still a prospect. All right, he has to become a contender. All right, he has to develop. Oh, put Keith Thurman in there with Canelo Alvarez. No, that doesn't make any sense. Canelo has been a world champion, has extensive experience, and he's in a different weight division. You don't just take somebody and throw them from one division to the next. They have to prepare to go to a higher weight division. See what I'm saying? So there are levels to the sport of boxing. I wouldn't pit a flyweight with a heavyweight. That's stupid. You know what I mean? There's levels to it. And some people can't go higher than certain levels because of their physical restrictions to them. So don't expect Floyd Mayweather to be fighting, you know, a super middleweight like Andre Ward. That won't happen. I remember there was a while back when people were saying, yeah, Andre Ward needs to fight Floyd Mayweather. That's not happening, folks. This is for you casual fans who, I hear you guys say all kinds of things out there, you know, but I realize it's just that you guys don't know how things work in boxing. That's why you say these sort of amazing, amazing things. Okay? Alright, you guys.